rocket science.
It's going to be a match between rocket science and data science.
Data
today.
science. I hope I do good with this. It should be a good do-gooder. Have you heard the expression, something is not complicated? It's not rocket science. Right? Meaning rocket science is so hard to understand. Similarly about people, say about a person, he's no rocket scientist, you know, meaning not very smart. The idea of being a rocket scientist is really a smart person. Well, I happen to be a rocket scientist. I teach a course right now, Theory of Propulsion, which has a part of it on rockets. But when you hear in the next few minutes how I became a rocket scientist, you might have some doubts about how smart rocket scientists like me really are. When I was a teenager, growing up in the Bronx, 13, 14, 15 years old, we lived across from Bronx Park, which is an enormous park. And we lived at a part of Bronx Park where it was deserted. So when I went into the park, I saw mainly a lot of trees, overgrown brush, dense brush, rocks all over the place. And it occurred to me that this would be a perfect place to shoot off rockets. Well, that's logic, right? You go into a park, what do you think? Shoot off rockets, right? The only problem was, at that age, I wasn't sophisticated enough to know how to get hold of a rocket. But I did know about seltzer bottles. Do you know what a seltzer bottle is? It's a way that you can make carbonated water, club soda, at home. Bottle here, in this handle you put a carbon dioxide cartridge, which you could buy. It looks like this. Have you ever seen these? Small carbon dioxide cartridges, these are 3 of them. There's a soft lead plug at the end. When you screw it into the handle, there's a pin there that punctures that lead, lets the carbon dioxide go down the tube into the base of this water-filled vessel and carbonates the water. And these were easy to buy. Now, if you turn them upside down, they look a bit like a rocket, right? So it occurred to me, and there might have been some friends involved, but I don't remember, maybe myself and friends, that we could drill out the bottom of the cartridge, let the carbon dioxide out, and we had a rocket vessel. I also happened to know at that time how to make gunpowder. I don't know how I got that knowledge because it was before the web, but I knew that if you took carbon black, and here's the secret, you can do this too at home if you get turned on by this talk. Carbon black, which is easy to get, sulfur, which you can buy, powdered sulfur, and what's called saltpeter, potassium permanganate. So I would mix up those 3 ingredients, stuff it in one of these cartridges, and then I would get hold of a cherry bomb. Do you know what a cherry bomb is? You don't? What kind of New Yorkers are you? The cherry bomb is that.
Yeah.
That is a firework that you could shoot off on, you know this.
Smoke bomb?
Huh?
Smoke bomb?
No, no smoke.
Oh.
Kaboom!
Used for destroying toilets.
Huh?
Used to put it destroying
You can
toilets.
destroy.
in
You can
schools.
destroy all kinds of things. This was a big blast, but I didn't use it for that. I took this fuse off, took that out, stuck it in the end of this cartridge filled with black powder.
Cool.
Went down to deserted Bronx Park, set up my so-called rocket, lit it, ran like hell, and watched this thing go like that. Now it has no fins, right? So it went all over the place. But it was great. I mean, if you remember being a teenager, that was a great experience. Every now and then I'd put too much gunpowder in there, and the thing would explode. Great. I mean, that was the fun of it. It was only years later that I realized that this rocket, or CO2 cartridge, if you turn it sideways, it looks like a bullet. And these so-called rockets could easily have taken a turn and killed me. On top of that, these so-called rockets, when you look at it like that, look a bit like bombs that they drop from airplanes. And I was making bombs. So I thought I was a rocket scientist, but it seems like I was a terrorist in training. And was lucky to be alive after that whole experience. So the next time you hear that expression, oh, smart like a rocket scientist, or it's not complicated like rocket science, it's easy, you can remember this story about me barely surviving my rocket science by being lucky and not getting shot down by my own rocket missile or blown up by my own rocket bomb. And if you remember this story, and remember that a rocket scientist like me was not really so smart, you might realize that you too can be a rocket scientist.
Thank you, Ken. I don't know, Ken. I want my rocket science to be smart.
You want?
I want them to be smart.
We would hope.
Sending those astronauts up there,